Good morning and welcome to a very special day here in the capital. I'm Rick Edwards and we are live at the 2025 TCS Mini London Marathon on one of the biggest weekends in the sporting calendar. Over 56,000 people will be taking part in the main marathon tomorrow, but today it's all about the younger generation, with a record 18,000 young people and children registered to take part in the Mini London Marathon today on the historic 40th edition of this great event. The Mini London Marathon has been inspiring generations since 1986. It's free to enter, it's full of energy, it's grown into the UK's biggest one-day free children's event. Stick with us for all the action, all the smiles, all the finish line triumphs. This is going to be a cracking day. We're going to get started nice and early, in about 5 minutes time, in fact at 8:30, with 45 minutes of racing. As you can hear, it's all happening. The under 17 and under 14 wheelchair races kicking off the Mini London Marathon Championships. Then it's straight into the rest of the championships with the best young runners in the country hitting the course, and we'll be wrapping it up with the under 13 girls. They'll go off at 9:15. After that, it's time for the mass participation. Thousands more young runners getting their moment on this iconic route. Before all that, let's meet the dream team who are going to be helping us cover every step of the action. We've got Ellen Ellard and Steph Twell in the commentary box. Ellen and Steph, how are you?
Rick, thank you. We are doing great. This is such a special race in the athletics calendar for our junior athletes taking to the course today. There really is nothing quite like it. Alongside me, two-time winner and three-time Olympian Steph Twell. Steph, we've just been reminiscing about your time competing here. It is so great to have you back today.
Thank you so much, Ellen, and good morning, team. I'm delighted to be joining everyone and commentating today to mark this very exciting anniversary of races. This may only be the mini marathon, but it's certainly a huge occasion for these athletes in the London Marathon's unique and iconic setting.
Thanks, Ellen. Thanks, Steph. They'll be expertly guiding us throughout the day. We've also got our very own Swazi Sherry out and about. She's going to be greeting the finishers, chatting to some of the participants throughout the day. Hey, Swazi, how's it going?
It's amazing down here. Thanks, Rick. We've got the DJ going. We've got everyone smiling. The atmosphere is electric. We're so excited to go. I'm excited. I cannot wait for everything to start. Back to you, Rick.
Thank you, Swazi. Now, before we get underway, we've actually got a very special guest joining us this morning. Get a bit tangled with my mic lead. Don't worry about that. Someone who knows the event better than most. She's taken on the Mini London Marathon herself before. She's back to take part in the 40th edition wave. 9-time Paralympic champion, 16-time world champion, an absolute legend of the track, Hannah Cockcroft. Hannah, how's it going?
I'm all good. I'm happy to be back. It's really nice.
Yeah, did you enjoy it the first time you did it?
Absolutely loved it. Like, my first time was 2008. I won it 2008, 2009.
It's got to start making you feel a bit old, Hannah.
That was only last year, right? I'm not that old. But honestly, like, some of my best experiences of racing, and it's amazing to be back and getting to be part of it again.
And also, the way that this has grown is extraordinary. Think back to what it was like in 2008.
It's incredible. It's incredible to see the kids still getting a chance to come out on this iconic course. You know, we've just been in the call room and everyone was, oh, David Weir's there. So it's amazing to
I got a bit excited when I saw Dave, to be honest.
Me too, every time. But it's amazing to show them where they can go when they do well here.
And what are you up to at the moment? Are you training hard?
I am back in training. We've got World Championships in India later this year. So, yeah, getting ready to go for that.
Well, best of luck in the 40th edition wave for later. We'll catch up in a bit. Cheers, Hannah.
Thank you.
Hannah, always inspiring. Best of luck in the 40th edition wave. Of course, that is happening a bit later on. If you want to pass on your messages of support for anyone running today, you can do so on Instagram. Just search the handle @London Marathon or @Mini London Marathon, or you comment under the YouTube stream on the London Marathon page, and we'll get across those messages as soon as possible. For now, let's go to our commentators, Ellen and Steph, for the start of the Mini London Marathon Championships. Over to you guys.
Rick, thank you once again. A brilliant 40th edition of the Mini London Marathon awaits. Over 4 decades, it's grown to become the UK's biggest one-day free children's activity event. We're kicking things off with the TCS Mini London Marathon Para Championships, starting with our wheelchair races, and they are underway. We have 14 going in this mixed wheelchair race, a variety of categories. Steph, it's so great to see the Para Championships included in the TCS Mini London Marathon Championships.
Of course, absolutely, and I think the London Marathon has been exceptional in being as inclusive as possible for all the years that it's been running, and I think it's amazing now that we're seeing actually a mixed race here with both boys and girls taking part together. I think that's a real joy to see.
Yeah, it's not just a mix of the genders, it's a mix of ages as well. Of course, once they cross the finish line, they will be split into their categories and their age groups as well to receive their medals. It's a 2.6 kilometre course. It's exactly what all the athletes in the championships will go over today, and then of course later on in the afternoon we will cut it to a 1 mile course for some of our junior athletes competing for the schools. A quick start for bibs number 12 and 13 as well, with 11 just trailing behind bib number 11 in the chase pack.
You're absolutely right,
Paulina Rabia.
You're absolutely right, Ellen. I think those bells sent them off quite quickly, didn't it? And it's going to be interesting to see how people approach this. We've got some that have gone out hard, but they can always be chasing, coming up strong.
Yeah, absolutely. So a 2.6 kilometre course, about a 400 metre straight before they come into this turn that we've seen our top 6 athletes navigate. Bib number 3. You can see there in the green is Imogen Ashwell-Wright. She was 3rd in her age category in the Westminster Mile last year. Steph, you know the Westminster Mile very well indeed, and very similar courses here, and particularly for those wheelchair athletes who have competed across both before. It's back to familiar soil for them.
For sure. Some of these athletes will have competed here before, but what's really interesting is certainly in their chairs they'll have to navigate those bends. So yeah, they get an option to experience going past Buckingham Palace up to Constitution Hill before going back to the Mall.
And also underway now in our under 17 and under 14 ambulant race. You can see once again a mix of categories. Some of the athletes running with their guide runners as well, and as we mentioned, for the wheelchair athletes, there's plenty who are racing back here again at the Mini London Marathon, and it's great to see. We have Albie Adamson going in this one. She was third in, he was third, sorry, in the third in the last year's Mini London Championships for his age group in the under 14 boys category.
Amazing. And you can just see the athletes here now just really putting their arm power into action. They're just subtle slope here. It's going to be a little bit harder for them. They're definitely trying to get low to the wheels to be as aerodynamic as well as possible.
And there is it's an interesting balance, isn't it, this race? It's so key to get a good start, but then also saving something for the finish, Steph, as we'll see later on as well.
Absolutely. Even though it's a mini marathon, pacing is just as important as the 26.2 miles that people will be taking on tomorrow.
So fast start, bib number 73. Fletcher Roberts.
Oh, it's a shame seeing someone having a little bit of possibility of stitch there, but it's fantastic to see them going and looking ahead, thinking of making it to the finish line.
Well, it's such an iconic course, and Steph, very different to when you ran it. When you, I believe, was it the 5-kilometre course back in the day when you were racing? Now cut to the 2.3-kilometre course, but still the same finish line, and that is the key thing that's said to all the athletes every year, is getting over the finish line, sharing the finish line with those who will be going in the mass race tomorrow in the over 26.2 miles. It really is something special for these young athletes.
It really, truly is. I think that's the beauty of the London Mini Marathon, is that everyone gets to experience that iconic finish, that finish line along the mall. And I think actually when I competed, the course was slightly different. It was 2.62 miles over the final distance from close to Blackfriars Bridge along the embankment towards Big Ben, but nonetheless you still come past St James's Park along the Horse Guards Parade up towards the Buckingham Palace, and what an opportunity for young people to explore and take onto the streets. Today they'll be representing themselves, their schools, their regions, their boroughs, and in that sense you come together. And for me, I was a class of 2006 and 2007, and what you can see, although we've got some mixed colour t-shirts here, in certain events you have become a class of that year, and everyone remembers which year you wore which colour, and you talk about it for many years to come.
Such identifiable colours in terms of the bibs and the tops that they wear, which, as we'll see later on, always determine the borough and or the age part of the age group as well, and then with the names of the boroughs on for those athletes. As we can see, the under 17 boys, and they're wearing black with their nations, or the part of the boroughs and the part of the UK that they're from, plastered along the front of it.
So this is shaping up to be a very exciting race, Ellen. We've got a big mix of previous winners, as well as some people that come out from starting indoors. Some have started their season early on the track, which might suit them well to the road. And we've also got some athletes here who have traditionally come from a cross-country background, so they've got big base work and strength behind them. So they'll be all excited to go and trying to get those medals, or trying to get a better position than last year, I'm sure.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier, Steph. We saw the slight incline going, as you can see, they're going into the final turn. It is hard work on that uphill, but it is a nice transition for these athletes coming from the cross-country season into the track season. It's a really nice way for them to move between the two.
I totally agree. The road is traditionally a little bit of a faster surface, unless it's a little bit wet or slippy, of course. But this is a perfect time now that athletes will be thinking, I want something a bit shorter, a bit more peppy for their running. And this is an ideal time in the calendar. And many of these athletes will have just been focusing on this race itself.
Well, it's something that's become quite iconic over the years, the start line of the TCS Mini London Marathon Championships. There is so much jostling for position, and it's going to come down for a sprint finish in our wheelchair race. Great turnover of speed.
This is super exciting. You see head down, pushing those wheels, driving all the way to the finish line. He's not going to be happy until he crosses the line. Celebrating, brilliant. In rather a swift time there, Ellen. I think that was 7.5 minutes.
Indeed, a brilliant moment for our first athlete across the line. I believe that's Toby Richardson. The helmet number is correct. In the under 17 race. Smashing his personal best over 100 metres last season.
Then you'll get 30 seconds.
That's amazing. Just their helmets are so smart now. The technology that goes into the equipment is fascinating.
Yeah, we'll see it, of course, tomorrow as well, with the wheelchair athletes taking part in one of the big majors of the calendar. The London Marathon has become so iconic, and such a great place for wheelchair racers to come and take part in. And of course the prize money as well, going up significantly over the course of the last few years. And still Nervy moments for our under-17 men. The course record on this one is 7 minutes 18. It is a 2.6 kilometre course, and possibility for a brilliant repeat of last year's battle in the under-15 boys with Joe Skeins and Evan Grime going head-to-head. Evan Grime and bib 4.65, Joe Skeins 2.46.
Absolutely, Ellen.
Came down to a sprint finish last year. They're poised, ready to go, most with one hand on their watches.
They're on me now, they're on me now. They're live on me.
30 seconds to go.
This is the part where your heart rate starts to get a little bit faster now.
A very calm start in comparison to what we've seen in years before. It has been a real focus to give everyone the best chance that they can, pushing the fastest runners to the front. And they are underway. Well, it is, you can see just how quickly they've got started, Steph, and it always is such an iconic moment, the start of the Mini London Marathon.
You're absolutely right, Ellen. They'll be heading towards the first bench, trying to take that shortest route, and it will start to even everyone out a little bit.
Well, great to see. So many of our finishers rewarded with their medals.
And such a special medal.
It certainly is. Well, they'll be met by so many legends of the sport as well as they come across the finish line. Winner of our women's race representing Scotland. Well, the noise as well, Steph, as the feet hit the concrete. They come around this first bend. It's about 400 metres down to this first turn, and flying along. It's the under-17 men's race.
They certainly do look well packed at the moment, Ellen. And over this 2.62 race, they will have time to unfold and see who merges towards the front. Fabulous running here from number 73.
Yeah, absolutely.
Numbers will give them a penalty at the finish.
Really looks like a solo run there. And still she wants to make sure she wants to check her time, possibly to compare to the following year to be a participant again.
Yeah, listening over the tannoy, I believe it's Chloe Lewis who's come across the line. Well, we can go back to the start line, and Rick is with someone very special indeed.
Yeah, we're in. Okay. Here now with Georgia Hunterbell. Morning, Georgia, how are you?
Very well, thanks. How are you doing?
Yeah, very good. I'm not going to keep you too long, because I know you've got to start a few waves, and obviously no pressure, but you don't want to mess that up.
No, I don't. It looks very competitive on that start line out there.
Yeah, we were just watching the under-17 boys, and it was every boy for themselves. Saw a couple of fallers.
Yeah, a couple of falls. Everyone wants to get out there. Everyone wants to have a good race. Love to see the competitive spirit.
And went out really quickly.
Yeah, they do. They want to get a good start. It's not too long. I think it's about 2K, and so we can see the finish over there. So hopefully lots of good races today.
Do you remember your first Mini London Marathon?
I absolutely do. I did the London Marathon a few times. I am a Londoner. So it was a huge day, lots of adrenaline, and seeing them on the start line takes me back.
And so when you were a kid, how did you get on?
I did pretty well. I won a couple of times.
Lovely.
Yeah, you feel like everyone's here for you. They're really here for the marathon. But as a kid running down Pall Mall, you just feel like, wow, I've made it.
And talk me through some of your hair choices back then.
Okay, yes, let's bring that up. I did dye my hair green. It did happen. But yeah, it was all to match the club kit, and it was a fun day.
Well, enjoy the rest of it, and I hope the wave launches go well. Cheers, Georgia.
Thank you.
Wow, that was an unusual fact, Ellen.
Yeah, well, I didn't expect that from Georgia Hunterbell. I must go back and find some of the pictures. But it is such a good precursor, Steph, isn't it? As you well know, those who you were racing against, we went through through some of the records and some of the results from the years you were racing, so many have gone on to perform well, either at the Senior London Marathon, Olympics, World Championships, British Championships. It is a brilliant sign for the talent coming through.
You're right. I think it does develop some emerging talent, but I also think this is inspiration for people to want to go on and continue to go back to their clubs and train a little bit harder, and they may not know how good they are at all in this event. For some of them, this will be just a huge experience, and this will be the inspiration to catapult them forward. I'm sure Georgia Bell may have had some aspirations when she was a child to make the Olympic Games, but it's not always the case. Some people just want to run for their clubs, run for their schools, and I think actually this is a fantastic event for everyone.
Well, the athletes in the under-17 men still moving along as one pack. Bib 444 looking along to the side, representing Scotland. That is James Alexander on the outside. He's just dropping back in slightly, second in the under-17 inter-counties this year, which again is such a big indicator to who will perform well in this race.
Absolutely, Ellen, and I know that James has also opened his indoor season already over at 1500, so I'm sure he will be looking to sharpen up over the final stages of this race.
Jack Sanderson representing Yorkshire and Humberside in the mix as well. He's wearing bib 459. You can see him on the outside with the yellow wristband, the white shoes. And the pack being carried along well as they'll turn once again. Always good to have a strong line coming into that. Move around the corner.
That is a tricky bend to navigate, absolutely. And they'll want to slow down going into it and really try to accelerate coming out of it.
Luke Dunham looking to push the pace. He's wearing East across his chest. He was third at inter-counties and had a good season on the track last year, finishing third at English schools over 3,000 metres, second in the school games as well.
Fantastic. And let's not forget Alex Lennon, who actually won the English National Cross Country this year, as well as the Surrey County Champs and County Schools, so all to play for there, Ellen.
Yeah, absolutely. Still moving along as one big pack as we now go down to the under-15 boys. It's getting underway at 8:47. They are in the royal blue with their boroughs and regions across the front of the chest. The final words of instruction are brought forward onto a number of different coloured spots, and if you have a yellow wristband, that indicates that you can go and stand on one of the yellow spots at the front, which basically gives you a priority start. It's all done off your performances over the course of the season. And just make sure you're in the right position so there isn't as much pushing and shoving as, of course, Georgia was speaking about there. It has got better over the years, but it just shows really, doesn't it, Steph, the passion that these athletes have for doing well in this event.
I absolutely agree. Everyone wants to have a good start and everyone wants to try and get out and find some space. So sometimes that's why there is a little bit of hustling and bustling on the start. But also, they've been up early, Ellen. They've been up from a very early time this morning and they just want to get going. Here we go.
Yep, so a sprint finish. It's come down to it once again in this under-17 men's race.
This is fantastic. From Southwest?
Yep, Southwest taking it from Scotland.
Very close.
An excellent finish.
It just shows there's nothing in between it at the moment at this age. You've got to fight for every single metre.
No, absolutely. We'll obviously bring you confirmation of the results as and when we get them from each of the races. The under-15 boys about to get underway. Some of the ones to watch in this one. Ewan Withnell of East Mids. He's the inter-counties cross-country winner in the under-15 boys category, and they are underway. A tug of some shirts in there as well.
Oh dear.
Always difficult to see a few of the athletes go down, but immediately back up to their feet. So the surge of adrenaline, though, Steph, from starts like that, whether you go down, whether you stay on the feet, sometimes can be a benefit to some athletes who can really use that to surge forward. Another name to watch in the under-15 boys, Thomas Fake of Yorkshire and Humberside. He won the London Mini Marathon in 2023, still holds the course record for the under-13 boys.
Looking at that finish there, Ellen, I think that extra face paint might have helped him today. Passionate for the Southwest, finishing strong. Congratulations to everyone in that race.
Well, it's always great to see how the athletes choose to wear their colours, as we've seen over the course of the last few years.
It really does sound like a stampede of elephants, doesn't it?
It sounds brilliant as they make their way down Horse Guards. It's exactly what we'll hear tomorrow, late on into the afternoon, as those in the mass start, and of course those going in the championship races as well tomorrow, make their way around the closing stages of the London Marathon. 2.6 kilometre course for junior athletes today, a 26.2 mile course for our senior runners tomorrow. And we can go to the finish line where Swazi is with the winner of the wheelchair race.
Straight in at first place, Toby Richardson, how you feeling?
Very tired. It was quite hot today, and I'm looking forward to the next race when it's on. I'll definitely be coming again. This was fun.
Yeah, really fun. Amazing to see you move. And how many people here today? What's the atmosphere like?
The atmosphere is actually really good. I had a good look at Buckingham Palace when we passed there. I had a look at all the parks and all the other scenery. We went down a woods at one point. It was pretty nice. It was like across the road though, so it was quite nice. It was a good race.
Amazing. Congratulations, Toby. All the best for the next one.
Thank you.
Well, it is a brilliant course, and it is a nice distraction as well. It's a glorious place to run, Steph, and when you can look to either side where it's hurting, when you're either struggling with the heat, struggling with the lactic acid, you can look to your side and see Buckingham Palace. It is an extra source of inspiration.
Exactly. It just makes it such a monumental occasion to be finishing in front of Buckingham Palace. And I loved there that Toby was mentioning that he loves being outside, taking in some of the nature, and combining that nature with being physically active today is exactly what the London Marathon is all about. It's exploring your outdoors and having an experience in it.
Well, this race is splintered slightly earlier on than we saw in the under-17 race. Ewan Withnell leading the way. East Midlands well represented, a good base and depth of talent amongst their squad. And it looks like the winner of the inter-counties cross-country this season has put himself in a prime position to take a victory today. Well, a chatty bunch there of under-13 boys potentially trying to ease the nerves a bit, Steph.
Absolutely, but I always say that if you have nerves, it's always quite good. Typically, like I used to kind of say that it makes you feel like you've got butterflies, and actually those wings will lift you. So I'm hoping that they will carry them along today.
That is an excellent way of looking at it. In there we can see Zachariah Rush, the tall figure wearing 979. He's representing the West Midlands today. Winner at the English Cross Country, second in the Inter-Counties Championships, and still Ewan Withnell of East Midlands wearing 720. He's at the front in the lime green trainers. Look to either side for him. It's always interesting to see the tactics from the athletes in this position, Steph.
Absolutely, but there are some interesting gentlemen in this front race. We can see 620 there, Caspian Holmes from the borough of Southwark. He was also third in the inter-county, so he's tucked in nicely now. It'll be an interesting one whether he uses this draft to capitalise off the front runners, or whether the front runners are just happy to and feel confident at the front, and it gives them that boost to want to get to that finishing tape first.
Bib 749 of the southeast region, Freddie Gibson, alongside one of the pre-race favourites, of course, Ewan Withnell, who's working hard, digging deep. And there's a pack following, but it is these two who are dictating the pace and driving things forward up this slight incline.
Absolutely. Ewan has opened his indoor season as well with an 800 metres of 2:01, so he's certainly got some space to watch out, speed to watch out for.
And you can just see how tight that turn is. A little bit of pushing and shoving. It is a complete 90-degree turn. They've got to get right back around.
Behind the white line, stop pushing.
A reminder to keep their feet behind the white line, the under-13 boys.
Please stop pushing.
Well, this is a very new and very different experience for them, and as much as we can highlight some of the pre-race favourites, Steph, this is the race that will always throw up different winners every year, names that we haven't heard of, and can really spark the careers of those athletes who are taking part who might go on to be Olympians.
You're absolutely right, Ellen, and what's really interesting about the history of the Mini London Marathon is that many athletes may stay within athletics and track and field, but some also go on to football, go on to rugby, to other sports, and I think that's the beauty of running, is that it has a fundamental movement skill for many sports, for any of these young individuals' futures.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure we'll mention it later. There's an athlete going in the under-13 girls who is at one of the football academies in the northeast, and following in the footsteps of Jill Scott, of course, who won in 2000 back in the day. She was then went back up home and was branded by the newspapers as the fastest postie in the northeast. I remember her telling that story well, as we go back to our under 15 boys in the bright red. Of course, they have their bib numbers on, and then the regions or their boroughs across their chests.
Wow.
Well, a change in the order at the top of the under 15s boys race. And once again, coming down to a sprint finish, gritted teeth all the way to the line. This is exactly what we want to see, Steph.
This looks like Caspian Holmes trying to get the better of 7:49.
And another look over the shoulder for bib 7:49. And a brilliant win for Freddie Gibson. And we can go back to the finish line as we see once again the celebrations of Freddie Gibson representing the southeast region. An excellent sprint finish and a perfectly timed race. And we can go back to the finish line and hear from the winner of the men's under-17 race.
Okay, under 17's men, Tom Webb, the champ himself. What's going on, Tom?
Yeah, great, thanks. Yeah, super happy for the win. It's really good.
Yeah, congratulations. What was it like to cross that finishing line?
Yeah, it's just great atmosphere. I mean, the crowd down the side there, it's really cheers you on. You got all the lights and like the banners, so yeah, it's really great actually. Yeah.
Amazing, and I'm loving the swag, even the face paint. You've come ready.
Thank you. Yeah, I was sort of dragged into that, so yeah, I thought I'd go with it. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, amazing. Tom, thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Tom Webb, winner of the men's under-17 race. Well, he was fourth in 2023, and now as an under-17 taking his victory.
I just noticed 985 there. Jack Shingler from the southwest. He's had a very good season this year in both the schools and inter-counties cross country. But it looks like we've got a bit of a clear runner here at the front.
We do. Sometimes they don't hold back the under-13s, and that's why they do make a great watch. There's not that level of tactics and waiting each other out that sometimes we see in the as we go up the age categories and into the senior races. You know, particularly distance running, we talk about the tactics all the time. The under-13s are just quite happy to fly and go as quickly as they possibly can, Steph.
I think when it's so inspiring, you want to get out there. But I think sometimes you might have a plan, but it might not even work out. So there's all different tactics here today. And it is an unknown course for many if it's their first time. So they'll be testing themselves. It will be a challenge, but one that nonetheless, as they are saying, is super inspiring for them to get to that finish line.
Yeah, great to see so many of the boroughs represented. Brent, Islington, just to pick out a few. Well, we can go back to Rick, who has another special guest and someone who is very well known in these parts. It's the one and only David Weir.
Wow.
Girls, please stay calm. No
joined now by a man I'm going to describe as a London Marathon legend, David Weir. How are you, Dave?
I'm good, thank you, mate. Nice to see you.
You cannot get enough of the London Marathon.
No, it's my 26th in a row. Really looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be good weather, strong fields. Yeah, it's been an amazing event. London Marathon always put on a good event for the wheelchair guys, so it's going to be a great day tomorrow.
And you've still got the hunger for it. I mean, you're still placing in marathons. I mean, you're not getting younger, Dave.
No, I'm not getting any younger, mate, but I'm enjoying the training, I'm enjoying the environment. I think I've had that, you know, when I said I retire from international after Paris, that added pressure's gone for me now, so I can just enjoy my sport in the years I've got left.
And what about the mini marathon? Like, it's great to see so many kids so enthusiastic, just enjoying their sport.
It's an amazing event. This is where I started in '87. I did my first mini marathon, and it's where it made.
I'm going to assume you won it.
No, I didn't actually.
You didn't win your first one?
No, I didn't win my first one. I was in an everyday day chair that was like a hospital chair, and so it took me a few years to win it, but I did win it 7 times. But yeah, it's a fantastic event.
And how many? So you won the main one 8 times, is it?
8 times, yeah. Yeah, so I've done 26, won it 8. I think I've been out the top 3 about 6 times in that period. I might be wrong on that though.
It's a decent record, isn't it? And you've got a special interest in the mini marathon today as well, haven't you?
Yeah, my young lad, Lenny's doing the mini marathon. He's 8 as well, so he's doing it at the same time, the same age that I was when I did the mini marathon. So yeah, it's a proud moment.
Really nice chatting to you, Dave. Enjoy it tomorrow as well. Cheers.
Well, great to hear from David Weir there, Steph. And I think one of the key points that he made, he didn't win it the first time he ran it. Did you win it the first time you ran it?
I did. So I've changed that trend. But I think you're right that actually people's pathways can emerge at different stages in life. It doesn't have to be that you're good at the start. It's helpful if that is in your nature, but actually it might be about finding the right club, finding the right coach, finding the right environment, what David was just talking about there, and actually people coming through and developing over time is more important, that they stay in a sport and stay physically active across their lifetime.
Yeah, absolutely. A number of the wheelchair athletes who we saw earlier on today are in the Weir Archer Academy. A lot of work that he does now, while he's still competing, of course, is to inspire the next generation and continuing to put the work in, and it is really great to see that.
David is an enormous role model for so many people. You might also know that he's known as the werewolf. And I think he has just shown so much consistency and so much commitment to a sport. And now, you know, to hear that he is now inspiring his own children, I think this is what we want to see, is that actually his child is probably inspiring him now to continue and give back to others at his academy. So it's a remarkable story. It'll be fantastic to see his child in the event. With the rest of his family today.
Yep, absolutely. As we go back to the women's race, the under-17 women's race, which was started by Georgia Hunter-Bell, and that's important as well, isn't it, Steph? When these young women look to one side and they see Georgia Hunter-Bell with the, I think it's an air horn that they use these years.
Absolutely.
And Thomas Hastings with the lead as he comes towards the line.
And an interesting West's going to get that done now.
Yeah, an interesting race, that one. The men's under 13 splintered quite quickly, and Thomas Hastings, he was first in the Yorkshire and Northern Cross Country Championships, and first in the Leeds Cross Challenge as well, the cross country. And coming down once again to a sprint finish, but a controlled one for Thomas Hastings, who takes the win in the under 13s boys. Now we can go back to the finish line where Swazi is with another one of our winners.
This is what resilience looks like. The winner of the under-15, Freddie Gibson. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. You said it was hard, but you did it. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, it was so tough coming around that turning point and coming back towards the finish. It looks short, but it's really not. It was painful the whole way down. Having someone on my shoulder to work with was good, but very challenging at the same time.
Yeah.
working off of him, seeing what he does, you know. But it's good that I came out with it. I'm very happy with how I ran that.
So you should be. Mum and Dad are in the crowd somewhere. What are they going to say when they see you?
They're probably going to be buzzing. I don't think they were expecting it this morning.
Aww.
Started off further back in the pens than I was hoping to, but managed to get out well. And I think as they saw me up there, they're probably buzzing with that, as I am.
You are one to watch, Freddie. Thank you so much for your time. All the best. What's next? What's next for you?
Probably English schools track. Hopefully a medal there.
Yeah. We're just collecting them. We're collecting them. Freddie, all the best, man. Thank you so much. You too.
Well, great to hear from Freddie Gibson there of Medway and Maidstone, based in Kent, of course, representing the South East. And, well, he's had a really interesting story when you look back at his records for this year. Steph finished 28th at Parliament Hill at the English National Championships, 3rd at the South of England Championships after coming first in the Kent Cross Country Championships. And like he said, his parents maybe weren't expecting that. It's interesting to see athletes who aren't always placing right at the top. They're not always collecting the medals, but they just find that extra bit of inspiration. And again, like Swazi said there, this could really catapult him onto a brilliant track season.
Absolutely. I think he's learning to win medals now, and I think there's a saying where you learn to train, so train to train, train to compete, so that doesn't necessarily mean you're always winning, but then train to win. And the fact that he's got a medal shows that he's actually enjoying competition. He mentioned there that he was really enjoying someone breathing down his neck, and I think that's a real good sign of someone being competitive, is actually not seeing it as a negative, but seeing it to help push him on.
Well, you can see the red of the under-13 boys continue to stream across the line, and you can also pick out right at the back, coming along the front of Buckingham Palace, is the under-17 girls in the white. All of the London boroughs represented, with the home nations putting out teams as well.
There are some fantastic athletes in the under-17s. It's a highly competitive field.
And we have athletes in this, it's always great to see, Steph, who've already been off to European under-18 championships, collected medals, bringing them back, and now racing here today. You can see some of the ones to watch going along the bottom of your screen.
Absolutely. So Olivia Forrest mentioned there, European under-18 championship bronze in the 3,000 metres, national under-17 3,000 metres champion, and has just got her future ahead of her in the pink and yellow socks. Tucked behind her is Katie Pye from Aldershot Farnham District, who has also represented Great Britain at cross-country as well as track. And also was born in Kingston, I believe, so represented Kingston today.
Yeah, it's a great start for Olivia Forrest. The course record for this one held by Ines Fitzgerald. When we talk about role models, Steph, she's someone who, still very early on in her career, has become an inspiration for so many, and we regularly see use her voice for good. Lucy Wilkinson there as well, wearing the bib of the South East.
Absolutely, and just to touch on Ines Fitzgerald, who won the race 2 years ago, is actually one of her probably likely teammates, Olivia Steer, who's also coached by Gavin Pavey, is likely to be in this race. So yeah, one to watch out for.
Bib 1101, Katie Pye in that white bib. Winner here last year, and European gold medalist in the under-18s over 3,000 metres. She is quickly emerging as one of the ones to watch in British distance racing, 3rd in the English Schools Senior Girls Race, and Inter-Counties winner this year. Now the turn of the yellow and the under-15 girls. Plenty of face paint on display as well. See it at the cross countries, something that I think started at the British University cross countries and has now trickled down to every layer of cross-country racing. So many coming out with their club face paints, their district face paints. And underway in the under-15 girls, some names to watch in this: Jasmine Christmas, Gabrielle Pinder, then Summer Smith.
Absolutely, Ellen, as well as we've got Kitty Scott there, winner of intermediate girls at the English schools, and has come from a triathlon background, whose actually mum and sister is also competing today.
it's great to see the triathletes compete in this. Of course, over the years we've had, well, you raced against Beth Potter.
Indeed.
Who has recently gone back to track, was competing at back onto the road, competing at the European Road Running Championships just a few weeks ago. And someone, of course, so well decorated as a triathlete, and of course representing Great Britain as well on the track over 10,000 metres in Rio.
Absolutely. I think much like Alex Yee, who's looking for a bit of fresh inspiration to make sure that for the next Olympic cycle they're feeling fresh, coming back to what they're familiar with is fantastic.
Well, Katie Pye looks beaten here as they come towards the line.
With Isla McGowan is taking the lead here, looking back, a bit concerned over her shoulder, but she's going to win it. She's going to take the lead.
That is a brilliant win. You can see exactly what it means. That was hard work, Steph, as she comes across the line. Isla McGowan beating one of the previous champions, and of course 2 European medalists as well in the process.
Absolutely. This is a very hard-fought win, I think, here.
Another win for the Southeast as well, who were out in their numbers today, and brilliant depth of talent, and an opportunity as the under-15 girls make their way around the first kilometre of this race to hear from another of our winners. There was Swazi.
Thomas Hastings taking the lead in the under-13s division. Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
You feeling good?
Very, yeah, thank you.
Shouts goes out to your coach as well, isn't it? Because I heard that he gave you some cheeky running prep to help you get through.
Yeah, because I've had tightness all week, so having these actually helped.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very grateful.
Oh, and your dad's in the crowd today, who's come to watch, and your auntie as well?
Yeah, my dad and my auntie's come. My auntie lived around London, so she likes to come down to London, so yeah.
Incredible. Well, congratulations. You did so well. Your medal is looking fabulous. We can't wait to see what's next for you, my love. Take care. See you soon.
Thomas Hastings of Yorkshire and Humberside. It's great to see, obviously, as we look back at that finish, but these athletes have an opportunity to be interviewed, and we know that there'll be plenty of press there. We see the work that Athletics Weekly do, interviewing the winners. They're there to support, and for many, this could be the first of the first interviews, the first mix zones they do, the first times they're on telly in what hopefully will be a very long career.
I think this adds to greater sense of occasion, and I think actually they're starting to experience what actually their future could look like. I think it's very exciting for some. They're all doing exceptionally well, speaking to camera, but I think that's down to the great team there, just making them feel so relaxed, and yeah, it's very inspiring for them.
10 in each team from each borough of London, the regions as well. They have all different qualifying targets that they have to hit. Speaking to some of those in the under-13 girls race, they were saying that they've had different targets set out for them by their regions over the course of the last few months they've had to hit. Great to see so many of the boroughs so well represented. A great incentive to get more, particularly young women, Steph, into running, into athletics.
Absolutely. I think post-COVID, actually numbers across the home countries are looking fairly stable. People have wanted to get active, you know, after lockdown. And just remembering that this event actually really took off from 2020, where the London Marathon really wanted to develop this and have an ambition by 2030 to get 50,000 people active in the mini London Marathon.
Well, it's not just here on Horse Guards, but also taking place around England. We have the mini London Marathon in schools as well. Just take a look at this pack coming forward, Steph.
Yes. Indeed, it looks a little bit like a sea of sunflowers. It looks lovely. And I can notice Kitty Scott at the front there, but she's having a tough race. She hasn't got it yet. They're all neck and neck.
Yep, Georgia March is in bib 1420. The English schools 800-metre champion from last year.
Absolutely, and Georgia, I am aware of, has just come back from a training camp over the Easter holidays from Portugal, but was very conscious that she's also had some exams. A lot of these age groups now have probably had a tough time outside of sport, focusing on the pressures of exams at school, and actually potentially a sport is a nice release for them.
Yeah, second in the Mini London Marathon in her age category last year, representing Enfield, and you can see her in the white bib there. Just moving away around the outside, the grey shorts. And there's three who are starting to pull away now and put some distance, that joined by another, just starting to really push the pace.
I think that could be Poppy Guest up there at the moment, if I can see that correctly. These girls race regularly, competitively, almost every weekend across the winter, so they all know each other's tactics. But actually coming onto the road's a little bit interesting to see who can have that turn of pace towards the end on quite a fast finish.
A stream of yellow now into the closing kilometre of this race. And a look at the start line for our final race in the championship section of the TCS Mini London Marathon. It's the under-13 girls, and this one is stacked full of talent. And also, interestingly as well, two sets of twins, Steph, as well.
Brilliant for having a training partner.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll mention some of the names as they get underway. But one to watch in this one, Madison Kindler of the East region. She's the British age group record holder for the under-13 mile. And of course, not too dissimilar the tactics that she'll need to use for today's race. Jess Thake as well, representing Yorkshire and Humberside, her brother holding the record, the course record for the under-13 boys still, coming from a very sporty family indeed.
And inspiration can be contagious, Ellen. You know, many this weekend will see a relative that they know, or maybe, you know, some of these juniors that might inspire you to take part in the event in the future.
Absolutely. How many times do we see it with the TCS London Marathon? We're watching it on TV, and you feel inspired, and you enter. Well, it has come down to a sprint finish once again on the far side in the grey shorts. It is Georgia March of Enfield Borough.
I think that could be Poppy Guest coming through on the other side.
And it looks like Georgia March is beaten here. And across the line, representing the Southeast, they have another winner on the day.
Congratulations, ladies.
A brilliant victory for Poppy Guest. Oh, great to see so many races come down to fine margins, the closing metres of the race. And Poppy Guest, I've got that down now as 3 winners from the Southeast.
It's an exceptionally strong region. I think it just is, it's quite a large pool of athletes, and there's a lot of depth in the Southeast and Southwest. I believe Poppy Guest might be from Aldershot Farnham District, a club I actually came from, so that was great to see a little bit of representation there.
Well, we can hear from, we've heard from plenty of legends of the game already today, and time to hear from another. Kieran McGeehan is with Rick.
Here now with someone who is extremely quick over 1,500 metres. Kieran McGeehan, how you doing?
I'm not too bad, thank you.
I was just admiring your fag waving as you were getting them going earlier.
Yes, that's certainly not a skill that I've honed, but the sheer competitiveness on that start line, you can't help but it's contagious. The kids are so excited, so yeah, hopefully that enthusiasm was seen in my flag waving.
Oh, it definitely was. It's funny as well when you listen to the marshals and the organisers sort of saying to them, just stay calm, relax, respect each other, don't push. And you're looking at them, you're like, they can't stay calm. These guys are pumped.
They definitely are, and who can blame them? It's phenomenal being in London on marathon weekend, to be able to get out and to race down the mile. It's just absolutely phenomenal, and I'm looking, thinking, okay, kids, go out there, enjoy it, but who am I kidding? Whenever I was their age, I was chomping at the bit, I was super competitive, and it's so lovely to see them come here and grasp that opportunity. So, yeah, anybody who could see them being marshalled towards the start line will see that these kids are taking this very serious.
It's brutal at the start, so I think we've seen maybe 5 or 6 go off so far, and in every single one, someone has stacked it.
Yeah, somebody hits the deck. But look, it's a testament to the adrenaline, they jump back up, and also how tough all these young athletes are, that they continue right to that finish line. So hopefully only a couple of scuffed knees and nothing too major.
But I mean, you must be so familiar with that from racing on the track as well. You're going to get a few spikes, aren't you?
Definitely. Look, whenever you're racing 1500 on the track, it's one of the most competitive races, but one of the most tactical. So I've certainly stepped off the track with spike marks on my shins and blood dripping down, but thankfully the adrenaline of a race takes over and you don't necessarily notice until you finish, but it's nice to have a few war wounds for the end of the career.
Now, I don't want to embarrass her too much here, but one of our commentators today is Steph Twelve, and I know that you're a massive Steph 12 fan.
I definitely am. Ever since I was a youngster racing at the mini marathon, Steph was an idol of mine. She was a couple of years older.
I was going to say, you're like similar age, aren't you?
We definitely are, but look, Steph is a phenomenal underage athlete, so she was always somebody that I was thinking I want to be like Steph 12. As I progressed through my career, I got to race against Steph over the 15, and she stepped up in the distance, and I'm so fortunate now to be able to call Steph a friend. So I think really that shows just how beautiful sport is. It's a chance to go out and perform at your best, to strive to be the best that you can, but for me, the best thing I've ever come away from, it is not medals, it's not records, it's the friends that I've made along the way. So I'm delighted to hear that Steph's up there commentating, and yeah, she continues to be an idol for me.
And of course, these waves are really competitive, as we've seen, but then you've got the mass participation to come as well, where it's just kids out there just soaking up this incredible experience.
And you know what, it's just as important. If we can be out there, yes, promoting elite sport, it's fantastic. I'm up there and I'm competing at the highest level, but we really need to instill a love for activity in our youngsters and in our adults too. And the mini marathon is here for that. It's going to be one of the largest mass participation events come London Marathon weekend. We have so many children out here today competing and enjoying it and getting to race on the streets of London. And if we can instill a love for being out and being active, and that feeling of, I went and I did something tough today and I'm so proud of myself, that lasts a lifetime. Look, it's going to pay dividends for them and their happiness, for their mental health and their physical health, but for us as a nation, it's vital.
What got you into running in the first place?
It was the fierce competitiveness for me. I grew up playing a sport called camogie back home in Ireland, and I eventually got into cross country because I got out of class and was running about in the mucky fields. Realised I was pretty good at it and continued, and I'd say initially it was that competitiveness and that desire to win. What's kept me in the sport through the highs and lows is this just sheer love of being able to push myself to be the best that I can be, and I feel very fortunate to be able to be in a position that I can do that and hopefully inspire others to do it too.
Well, you're definitely doing that, and you're not running tomorrow, are you? But you've got some mates running.
No, I'm not racing. Marathon is a little over my distance, but I'm very excited. I've got a few friends out there racing. Philly Bowden is racing in the women's event, Johnny Meller in the men's, and I would love to see the guys going out there and get a PB and, you know, maybe be some of the top Brits out there. So yeah, it's exciting. Who can't help but be excited in London Marathon weekend?
Really nice chatting to you, Kira. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Cheers. Now we're going to throw back to one of your idols, Steph 12 and Ellen Ellard.
Well, that must be nice, wasn't it, Steph?
Oh, it's so lovely to hear those words from Kira. And what's really remarkable is that we were really good competitors at a very young age, but actually we went on to be training partners for Team New Balance in Manchester, and I have equally been inspired by Kira. She is a phenomenal athlete, obviously taking an exceptional European medal last year, and you know, she's still in the sport and she's just so inspirational. She's inspirational to her community, but goes wider than that. And like she knows, it's more about giving back as well, you know, giving back to the juniors as well as the adults that are in part of this event.
Yeah, absolutely. A huge resurgence of athletics and running in Ireland, and it's so great to see her at the front of it. At the front of the under-13 girls race, Madison Kindler is alongside Jess Thake. We will at some point cut back to the front of the field, but the athlete who you can see moving away at the front is Jess Thake, looking to replicate what her brother did a few years ago now. He, of course, Thomas, won the under-13 boys race and is still the course record holder in that one. We mentioned in it, we have a number of twins. We've got two sets of twins, Eve Beddoe and Izzy Beddoe, representing the Northwest. A brilliant story from them. They were racing at night of the 10K BBs. which now has a junior section. Of course, it won't be held this year. They're having a fallow year, but they last year introduced an 800-metre race, and it was brilliant to have some of the biggest names in world track running, not just British running competing. As a look over the shoulder, and I do believe this is Jess Stake, who will replicate what her brother did a few years ago and keep it in the family.
Well, it looks like she's really opened up a bit of a gap there. There's a bit of distance between herself and Madison Kindler, but what a way to win.
Well, inspiration comes in many forms. Older brother Thomas racing in the under-15 boys race, and coming across the line in, well, what could be close to a course record time there as well for Jessica. We'll take a look when we get the official results through. I looked up and it was around the 8:47 mark, and that would have been after she came across the line. The record stands at 8:46. We'll try and get a glimpse of the clock here. It was a dominant run, wasn't it? Something very different to what we've seen in the other races today. She was striding away from Madison Kindler, who herself is a brilliant athlete and holds the age group record for the under-13 mile, year 6 national cross-country champion. As we can see.
Really remarkable, Ellen, and what I love is the celebrations and camaraderie between these athletes, hugging each other, here we go, shaking each other's hands, and it just inspires each other to go out, go back and train a little bit better, work on some things with your coach, but you want to have a healthy competition between each other.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Some of these athletes may not have heard about the event before they were picked up by their boroughs. For others, I know particularly Eve Beddoe and Izzy Beddoe. For Izzy, it was her target to race here this year, to gain qualification. A team that's been brought down from the northwest. She's been training incredibly hard. The silver medalist at the England Under-13 Championships over 800 metres, and her sister Eve 5th in the Inter-Counties Championships this year. And also a shout out for Poppy Phillipson of the Northeast, following in the footsteps of Jill Scott, who won here in 2000. And Poppy plays for the Sunderland Academy. Wow, looking to follow in the footsteps of the Lionesses. Well, that was our final championships race in the mini London Marathon Championships. And, well, the mass start event kicks off very shortly, and you can see the excitement there, Steph. It's so good to see, isn't it? You know, young athletes, and the age, of course, going a little bit younger than what we see in the under-13s. That's capped at ages 11 through to 12, and the upper boundary of 12 before they go through into a new school year. But it's great to see, you know, athletes. I've been starting this race for a number of years, and those on the start line who you see some tiny kids come out, and starting them young is such a key part of the sport.
It does help, Ellen. It absolutely helps. I think physical activity, if you start earlier in life, there's a propensity to continue that later into life, for sure. But I think most people just want to be part of this occasion, like they can see it and they want to have a go themselves on the streets. So yes, it's absolutely contagious. Inspiration is contagious, and I certainly, even myself, want to go out for a run after this.
Well, great to see so many of the blue shirts continuing across the line. These are our finishers in the under-13 girls race. Well, a big smile of pride there. 18,000 signed up and ready to go over a number of waves, all starting here in Horse Guards Parade.
It's such a sense of self-achievement, isn't it? For these athletes, they may have never actually run 2.62 kilometres before. They may be very familiar with the daily mile. Many schools do run a mile distance, but that 2.62 kilometres is closer to 1.5 miles, so it's testing them a little bit further. And so for them, this is a pure iconic moment to run the 2.62, you know, mirroring the 26.2 on a smaller scale, obviously. And for them, it's going to hopefully inspire their parents, their, you know, aunties, uncles, grandparents, their communities. going back to school, sharing their medals, because all of these athletes will get an amazing 40th landmark medal. And I think that's the inspiration that they don't just have on the day, they take it forward with them. It's a memory that they can have, you know, for their lifetime.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking of the schools as well, there is the TCS Mini London Marathon in schools, an event that's free to take part in, free to enter, allowing school children of all ages and abilities to run, jog or walk, wheel over 2 miles in their school setting. It's held over a 2-week period, and there is still time to enter. As long as you enter before the 2nd of May. Go Pelham Pumas. It's great to see so many schools, so many running groups, youth groups bring athletes out from not just here in London. It is mostly here in London, but I remember last year being stood on the start line, calling some of the athletes forward, and there was athletes from my school back in Peterborough, so they do make the journey in from the outskirts of out from the suburbs, bringing them in. It's great to see as well.
Absolutely, I saw many athletes from Wales, from Cardiff, Swansea. We also saw athletes as far as above Inverness, actually, from Scotland as well. So it's a fantastic opportunity to actually meet different people from different areas, learn about different clubs, communities, regions. And I think it gives a sense of actually, when you go back to train, it's not just you doing what you're doing in your local club. Everyone across the country are also part of this amazing physical activity movement.
Yeah, over the course of the last 4 decades has become the biggest free children's activity day. And it's so great to see so many as our championship races still come across the line, so many of those gearing up to go over the 2.6 kilometre course. We have a 1 mile course as well for some of the younger athletes from those at reception age up to year 7. With 18,000 children and young people expected to take part today, over 1,600 schools. It is brilliant to see. We can go back to the start line with Rick.
Championship racing, incredibly competitive, incredibly fierce. Congratulations to everyone who took part. Now, given that this is the 40th edition of the Mini London Marathon, it feels only right that we take a look back at where it all started. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by 2, I'm going to say, trailblazers. Anne Gifford and Debbie Atherton, how are you both?
Thank you, thanks.
Nice to see you. So you not only competed in the first one in 1986, but won. What do you remember about that day, if anything?
Well, at the time, there wasn't any sort of mass participation events for young athletes, especially sort of road racing. So we was very excited when we heard of this new event. And at the time, we actually started on Tower Bridge and finished on Westminster Bridge, and we'd done the last 3 miles of the actual marathon course. So I can still remember coming across the bridge, going across the same finish as the marathon runners, getting your medal and your foil blanket. So it was a great experience.
It's so cool. And how old were you when you were doing it?
I was 14. Yeah.
And how excited were you when you crossed that finish line? Because doing it in the same place as the London Marathon, it's so iconic.
And back then it was on the same day as the London Marathon, so we did the race first and then the main event started, and my dad was actually running after I did the mini marathon, so it was just really cool to be part of that big event at the same time. So yeah, it's brilliant.
And when you did it back in '86, I assume you would have had no idea that it was going to grow into like what we see now, this huge event.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's just really, really evolved. And the great thing is it's not just elite athletes, it's the masses as well. It's a mirror of the full marathon. So it's everyone can go in the ballot and have an opportunity to run. And you've got the young athletes and the elite athletes that are doing really well. They really look forward to it as part of the sort of fixture list.
Well, really enjoyed it today. So nice talking to you both. Cheers. Now, the Mini London Marathon isn't just about the big day here in the capital. It's also making waves in schools across the country. To find out more, we sent Swazi off to see how one school is getting involved, lacing up and joining the movement. Take a look.
Welcome to Ranelagh Primary School, where pupils are taking part in the TCS Mini London Marathon in schools. It's all about having fun, getting active and taking part in something huge. Over 1 million children took part since 2020, so let's go inside and find out more. Layla, tell me, what is Mini London Marathon in schools?
Well, essentially it's a 2-mile run, walk, jog or wheel around a school's facility where they can get to complete their own 2-mile distance in the comfort of their own school setting.
Amazing. So once the schools are signed up, then what?
So schools will receive a really cool toolkit that includes all the resources and materials they need to make their event really cool and special. So they'll get things like bunting, assembly slides, certificates, running bibs and the all-important finish line tape that they can smash through.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of fun right at the end.
It's going to be so much fun.
Oh, it sounds incredible. Mr. Riches, thank you very much for having us in your school. I want to know, why is Ranelagh Primary taking part in the Mini London Marathon in schools?
So we're taking part because it's just such a great opportunity for the children to get involved in the Mini London Marathon, encouraging each other, promote physical healthiness and their mental healthiness as well. And just seeing the smile on their faces is going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and everyone can take part, right?
100%. Walking, running, whatever they like to do, they can take part.
Okay, so, well, I think the kids are in. We all look ready to go. The only thing left is a warm-up, please.
Let's do it.
Off you go, nice and jogging, off you go. Super fast, on the spot, on the spot. Go, and freeze like statues.
Okay, so, we look like we're ready to go, but let's check. Are we ready to go? Yeah!
Sounding good, sir. Sounding good.
On your marks, get set, go!
This way.
Well done, Emlyn. Oh, keep going, Ramsey. Come on, Luca, you got this. You got this, Luca. Good boy. Let's go, Nico. Good lad.
Layla, this is amazing. I mean, the energy is ridiculous. It's so good. How's it going so far?
Oh my God, this is why we do what we do, right? Like seeing the smiley faces, the joy, the energy that the whole school community have got behind to kind of get involved with the event. It's just lovely to see children being physically active and having fun at the same time. It's just great. It's a pleasure to be a part of.
Well done. That looks so good. Incredible. Well done. Wow, what an amazing effort. Now guess what? Every school that takes part does get a trophy. So sir, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Shamila, looks like we're both in year 6 at this point because you looked fantastic out there. How did you find it?
I found it really fun actually. It was a really amazing experience and I really didn't want it to end.
Running was very fun. I'm very used to running because I run a lot during football times. It's a very important thing in your life to help you be healthy.
Now, how is it today running with your class? Is this something you want to do again next year?
I want to do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Wow! If your school hasn't signed up just yet, don't worry, there's still time. Just head over to the TCS Mini London Marathon website to enter, register and join the fun. But be quick! Schools have until this Friday, May the 2nd, to sign up. Just search online Mini London Marathon in schools and don't miss out.
Great to see the London Marathon mini spirit alive and well in schools. Best of luck to Ranelagh Primary when they get underway later today, and to the other 1,178 schools that are registered to take part today. And the best news is that schools can still register for the free TCS Mini London Marathon in schools. There are currently more than 450,000 school children registered to take part, and you've got until this Friday, May the 2nd, to get involved. Let's keep the energy going. I mean, there's a reasonable amount of energy here already. Time to head over to Horse Guards Parade, where Swazi's standing by. She is not alone. She is joined by a very special guest. to help get us all warmed up.
I'm at Horse Guards Parade, and can you hear the fun? The energy is buzzing, and it's only going to go up a notch because I've got my favourite PE teacher, Joe Wicks, in the car to get us all warmed up. So let's go and have a look and let's get involved, shall we? So all of the kids, are you ready to get warmed up? Yes! Go on, what do you really hope that Joe Wicks is going to do to warm you up? Mukbang! How excited are you to be here today? Very! Wow, there's a lot of energy. Are you going to go and get warmed up with Joe Wicks? Yeah! I think we're going to go get warmed up. Okay, well, we're getting warmed up. We've got the man himself in the house, Joe Wicks. Over to you, sir.
Lovely. Guys, what an amazing day. Look. Good. Next time we're going to bring our knees to our chest. Just hug our knee like this. Up your knee. Hug your knee. Good. Pull it towards your chest. Good. Keep it going. We've got a few more minutes to go. Keep it going. Knee to your chest. Okay, next one, let's do some star jumps. Let's go. One more body up, raise the heart rate a little bit. Excellent. Keep it going. Okay, have a little rest, guys. Next, I'm going to warm my legs up. We're going to do some nice slow squats and up we go. So 10 squats. Nice and slow. Down about 2. you doing? What an amazing atmosphere. It's so good to be here.
It's so good to be here. How good is it to have so many children participate in such an iconic event today?
Well, look, I love nothing more than seeing kids exercise. I did it all through lockdown, and to see, like, you know, tens of thousands of kids here today, smiling, dancing, getting ready for the run, it's really inspiring. I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you only have to wave and then everyone's up and going. So thank you so much. We'll catch you soon.
Yeah, see you in a bit.
Brilliant stuff from Joe. I mean, the energy here is off the charts. One of the most powerful things I think about the London Mini Marathon is the stories behind the runners, and this next one really hits home. So joining us now, 6-year-old Freddie from St George's Junior School in Egham, and his dad, Steve. How are you both? You all right?
Very well, thank you.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
So Freddie's taken on the 1 mile challenge today to raise money for brain tumour research, inspired by his best friend Robin, who is also 6, has been living with this brain tumour since May in 2022. And you're then running the full London Marathon tomorrow, Steve, so it's a big weekend for the family.
It is a big one.
And how are you feeling about it?
Nervous, excited, emotional, you name it, I'm feeling it, basically.
And Freddie, how about you? How are you feeling?
Good. Good.
You feeling all right?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to be a little bit nervous. It's fine. It's fine. It's all going to be okay. And your dad's here with you, isn't he?
It's been a big week for him. He's lost his first tooth on Wednesday, school council spot this week, and now he's running his first mini marathon. So.
Blimey, I mean, I'd be overwhelmed if it was me. Is Robin one of your best friends, Freddie?
Yes, because we went to nursery together.
Oh, so it must be really nice for her that you're doing this.
Yeah.
Well, we're all really, really proud, and I'm wishing you all the best. Good luck with it today.
Thank you.
And good luck to you as well, Steve.
Thank you very much indeed. You take care. Thank you.
I'm glad that we just had to clear out the way there because we were going to get absolutely flattened. Enjoy it. Cheers,
Thanks very much. Take care.
You.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Still on, son? Okay.
Joined now by Becky Waters, who's head of sport at St George's School. How are you, Becky? All right?
Feeling good, yeah? Great.
It's chaotic, it's energetic, it's lively, it's amazing.
It is amazing. We've just obviously seen Joe Wicks do a little workout, which is great. Kids are very excited to do it. We've got all our little lovely team, all of the staff and the children are really looking forward to it.
Why is the London Mini Marathon so important, do you think? Why is it so great?
I think we are obviously as a school look to create people that are active for life. And it's one of those events that is second to none. It's going to create memories for the rest of their lives, and they're going to think about the time that they were running, whether it be for fun or competitively. And they'll be running a mile or 2.6. They'll get a lovely medal and water bottle at the end, and it'll be amazing for life. So I think creating memories like this for children is an amazing thing to do. So done a great job. And
I think I'm right in saying that no school has had more children take part in the Mini London Marathon than St George's Primary. That must be something you're proud of.
Yes, super proud of. We've had 240 children take part.
That's decent.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And obviously the first year we were very nervous because we were thinking, oh my goodness, going central London with children that are 4 years old. We've got wheelchair participants as well that take part. But we thought,
as young as 4 as well.
Yeah, we thought we'll go for it. And obviously I've got my chaplains here, we've got our head of years, we've got our whole sports department. The whole school buys into it. And I think that's really what you need is adults that are obviously capable of taking care of children. But your staff here It's so supervised and it is phenomenal. And once we obviously had that confidence, it's like, right, how many can we...
We're all going.
Yeah, we are. So we've maxed out every year. So yeah, this year 40 was the maximum. And that's because obviously so many more schools are hearing through Instagram and other things about how amazing an event it is.
Well, look, it's great having you all here. Enjoy it today. Cheers, guys.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, it's brilliant to hear that, isn't it, Steph? This mass event has only been running for a couple of years now. But it's so great to see it grow. It was 2021 the first time that they did this mass participation event. There was over 1,200 on that day. Now it's grown to 18,000. We've got over 1,600 schools signed up, either competing here today or competing in the mini London Marathon at schools, which is a great initiative as well. But just to hear the confidence now that schools are bringing their maximum of 40, and the fact that we even have to have a maximum in place of 40, I think is such testament to the event and where it's growing to.
Indeed, Ellen, I think it's absolutely a remarkable event and testimony to all of the school teachers across the country who are using this event as an opportunity to inspire these children. And I think there's a time for them to kind of realise that actually physical activity and sport goes beyond the school gates. You know, there's going to be clubs, after-school clubs, that many of these individuals will be taking part on, but actually now seeing what they can be part of in their own communities and in the capital city is quite remarkable. So it's a really inspiring day that actually I think some of these PE teachers and school staff will really take home to their schools and inspire many people to stay physically active.
There is a brilliant competitiveness as well around these school children. I've been in that position as some of the volunteers there in the purple, making sure that they're ready to go, and some of them are as eager as those in the championship races to get started and get out there. And you can see one of the adults as well having a great time there. Of course,
who's enjoying it more, Ellen?
Yeah, I know. Sometimes it is very clear to see, but by the end, by the finish line, it is always the kids who have a big smile on their face, a medal hung around their neck. It's always great to see.
Indeed.
The growth of this event as well, and you never know with particularly those taking part in the mile. We spoke to, of course, one of the participants there. These still the 2.6 kilometre route for those year 4 to 12, and then we have anyone reception age to year 7. We have a 1 mile course. Now, by the time they get to year 6, year 7, they'll be able to then qualify, of course, for the mini London Marathon Championships. You never know, some of these youngsters, we could be seeing them pull on one of the coloured vests of their age group, wearing their borough or their region proudly on their chest over the course of the next few years. And it's so lovely to see a group there all holding hands, pulling each other along and encouraging each other.
I am so impressed. I'm also very impressed with this teacher running with an iPad there, trying to get some pictures of the kids, probably to take it back and send it out on their school newsletter. It really is, you know, they say it takes a village, and it is these opportunities that people are getting.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's really remarkable about this event. I think they can take this away from them and hopefully, like I say, come back and make more memories and want to actually stay in being physically active.
That's it, is it? It's the retention rate, and brilliant to hear from the teacher we just spoke to, speaking about the fact that they come back every year. They max out now. Now there's the 40 child limit for each school, and it's brilliant to see those who may, of course, want to compete, who have more than 40 children in their school, then go back and do it again in their schools with the mini London Marathon in schools. Another wave primed and ready to go. Sometimes I believe we have up to around 30, maybe over waves of the mass participant children taking part. It goes well into the afternoon, the waves coming thick and fast, and they are raring to go once again. And of course today as well, with it being the 40th edition of the TCS Mini London Marathon, we have a special 40th edition wave. We're bringing back some very special faces. We've heard from them already. We've spoken to Hannah Cockcroft, of course, 9-time Paralympic champion, 16-time world champion. And all of those who've competed over the years, won over the years, invited to bring friends and family back to be part of that special 40th edition wave. And as we said earlier, we've seen Georgia Hunter-Bell, the bronze medalist in the Paris Olympics over 1,500 metres, World Indoor Champs bronze medalist as well over the same distance, Kieran McGinn, who we've spoken to. Jess Bailey's here, someone who, of course, is really emerging as a brilliant talent. The 2022 gold medalist at World Mountain Running Championships. She's the British under 20 5K record holder. And well, we can hear from some of those taking part now with Rick.
Well, just while we wait for Izzy there, we can see it's important that anyone can walk, not have to run. You can also wheel, skip, stride, however you want to get around the course is equally as important. And those two chaps are enjoying and taking in the day, I think, at their own pace.
Well, we heard from some of our wheelchair racers earlier just how much they enjoy taking in the view. And of course, when you need that extra bit of inspiration going past Buckingham Palace, well, it plays its role, doesn't it, for the those taking part in the TCS London Marathon tomorrow. And well, let's go to one of our young competitors who's with Swazi.
I'm joined by the Royal Russell correspondent. It's Izzy. Hello, Izzy.
Hi.
How you feeling?
Really good.
Good. Now, you've come to run, but not only, you've come to stunt on us. Izzy, give us a 12, because this outfit, whoa, 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 whoa. You've got a pink shorts, pink top, pink scrunchie. You're going to run at 10:30. How do you feel?
Good. I'm really nervous though.
Oh, what are you nervous about?
That'll fall.
You won't fall. You just had Joe Wicks warm you up. Are you feeling warm?
Yeah.
What was it like to see Joe Wicks? Did he have a lot of fun with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. So who have you got coming today? I hear there's a shout out for Arthur in the house.
Arthur, Darcy, Alexis and Lucas.
Okay. And also Mum and Grandpa's over this side as well, aren't they? So what's the atmosphere like? You've got all the music going, people have been dancing. What's your morning been like so far?
Really loud but really cool at the same time.
Yeah, really loud and really cool. And also, you've had a winner's breakfast. Talk to me about your winner's breakfast.
I had porridge and jam with fruit.
That sounds like an A1 breakfast, doesn't it? And what time was you up?
7:30. No, 7:30.
7:30 for your 10:30 one. So for anyone who is watching, who's thinking, I want to be like Izzy, I want to get into running, what advice would you give them?
Start on 100 meters.
That's a good track, yeah. And then?
Work your way up to 2.6k.
Oh my gosh, Izzy in the car. Coach Izzy, we love that. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Say bye.
Bye.
Well, we love that, don't we, Steph? You've dabbled in a bit of coaching yourself. No fault in what young Izzy's just said there.
I think I'd love to be coached by Izzy. It sounds like a very sensible, measured plan.
Start small, build up, and well, that's exactly what we hope some of these young participants do. Build up, of course, to the London Marathon, which grows and grows every year. Steph, don't we see it all the time? So many entering the ballot, hoping for places. Running for brilliant causes as well. We see so many charity vests, club vests. There's so many ways to qualify for the London Marathon, of course, these years. And, well, we hope so many of these youngsters will make the step up and will be finding their own ways into the marathon over the course of, well, I don't want to go too early and say the next few years, because, of course, we have plenty of youngsters. But maybe over the course of the next decades or so, this the 40th anniversary of the TCS Mini London Marathon, and plenty more to come.
You're quite right, Ellen. I think the fact that these schools have to enter a ballot now is a real testament to actually how popular this event has become. And I know that the London Marathon are looking to develop it and give everyone as many opportunities and experiences as they can to build hopefully close to 50,000, which is quite similar to the mass event tomorrow in numbers. So yeah, it's an exceptional opportunity that they're providing for young people, and I'm just so inspired myself by it. And yes, they may go on to, potentially come back to maybe the London Marathon in the future, but I think the London Marathon are equally inspired by anyone that goes on and takes that running to any sport across to, like we were saying earlier, the football, the cricket. So many sports require running to be part of it.
Well, it's such a good base for everything, isn't it? We see plenty of football shirts in there. There's a Crystal Palace shirt, I believe that might be, is that a Morocco shirt? We see so many football shirts on the start line every year. There goes Sheffield United through, and Spurs kit there as well. This is just a football shirt idea at this point, but it is such a key thing, a key base for what we see. For what we see, if you want to go into other sports, if you want to go into football, if you want to go into rugby, exactly as Steph has said, We want to hear your messages of support. If you have friends, family running in this mass start, you can go to Facebook, leave your message on the live, and we will give your young athletes and those adults in support as well a shout out, particularly if we see them. You can find us on, of course, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram at Mini London Marathon and at London Marathon. Do send us in your messages of support for runners, friends, family, and do let us know if you see them on the screen as well. Another great thing to mention, Steph, as well is, of course, this event, free to enter. Of course, it's grown over the course of the last 4 decades to become the UK's biggest one-day free children's activity event. Free to enter, but also TCS, the event's title partner, gives schools £10 for every pupil that finishes the event, and that can be spent on equipment, not just for running, it can be spent on goalposts, athletics equipment, new team kit, and I think that's really key as well, that there is an incentive for schools who want to improve and upgrade the equipment that they have.
I think that's amazing. It's just an amazing example of paying it forward about all the sports schools need sports equipment to help, inspire those kids to, try something. So whether it's, cricket balls, whether it's hula hoops, whether it's beanbags, there's some fundamental movement skills that these young individuals will be developing now. Their balance, their coordination, and that equipment really goes towards that. I think it's, extremely helpful to schools. We all know that sometimes that they are under very difficult circumstances with budgets, but every extra will help them to help, give opportunities, like I say, to have hopefully the best equipment and up-to-date equipment that they can have.
And that, of course, helps with the inclusivity as well that schools are able to put forward in terms of their PE and the other sport lessons that they have. We have wheelchair participants and para participants going in this mass start event. It's not just the championship event that they can enter into. As here comes another of our waves, and you can hear just how excited they are, instructed to keep their toes behind the line. And it is, again, these are youngsters. This might be their first ever race, Steph.
It might well be, you're right. And they're learning about competition here today. They're learning about the starters' instructions. Playing fairly. I think that's a real, important value for young people of today. To, toes behind the line, not to try and, impede other people if you can on the race. And really, I think finishing, it can't be underestimated how enormous it is to have a sense of self-accomplishment and to complete something. And I think sport and physical activity we know is really great for individuals' well-being and mental health particularly. So some people might have an opportunity that it might not go to their expectations today, but the fact that they have honestly started and crossed that start line as we see now is a huge step for some people.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, so great to see. And of course, as we mentioned before, these waves will go late on into the afternoon. We have some messages of good luck. Louise Hopkins says good luck to all of the lovely kids at St. Paulina School, especially Archie Hopkins. And we have a message from Samantha saying good luck to all the students running from Ark Blake Academy. Good luck to Charlie H. And all of those from Paul AC taking part in the championship runs. We hope Charlie had an excellent run. The Ringwood Junior School as well. We'll have to keep an eye out for bright orange shirts. That's from Emma. We will keep our eyes peeled. A shout out for Sophie Way. Good luck to my amazing daughter, says Sarah Louise. Her bestie Lily, Ethan, Melanie and all their school friends. We're so proud of you. Big good luck to Ed and Millie.
And that's it, isn't it, Ellen? It's that feeling of pride, that feeling of accomplishment. Taking that certificate back, taking that medal back, and then as a team, collectively, a trophy that you get as a school, which is just really remarkable.
And that's the great thing as well, isn't it? To see the trophy being handed out as well. And, if they're doing the TCS Mini London Marathon in schools, you get the same trophy as well, and it's that sense of team accomplishment on that front as well, which particularly when you speak to athletes at any level, if they get an opportunity to compete individually, but also if they compete in team championships, in relays, it's that part of being part of something bigger as well.
100%, I couldn't agree more. And I think actually being part of a team helped me probably stay in the sport for longer, like you're saying. I think you don't just focus about yourself. You want to be that good, helpful team player. And I think sharing in that success together is far more than just enjoying it yourself.
And it's something that keeps people in the sport for longer. We've seen it over so many years, particularly for young women. It's all about keeping them in the sport, and if they have a real sense of community and friends around them, it's a huge support and goes a long way to keeping young women, young girls in the sport for younger. And well, we can hear from some more of our participants. I believe Aurora is with Swazi.
If you are from North Beckton Primary School, can you make some noise? Yeah! Wow, wow, wow. You guys are about to run in about 10:23, you said. How are you all feeling?
I'm kind of scared because, like, I don't know. What if I get lost? And, like, I don't want to get lost.
I don't think you're going to get lost. How does it feel to run with your school?
It feels exciting.
Yeah. And you've just been warmed up by Joe Wicks. Was it a good warm-up?
Yeah.
What did you do? Have you got any moves that you can show me?
Stretches, like,
Oh, wow. We're going to get into the stretches. Lovely, lovely. Do you guys feel warmed up?
Yeah.
Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, we're very excited to see you run. Thank you so much. Wave to the camera. We love to see you. Bye.
Always brilliant to see so many schools out in force. It's not just, of course, those running with friends and family, but those running as school units as well. If you're keeping a lookout for any shirts of primary schools in particular, do let us know. We'll keep an eye out. Try and find them in the crowd. We'll send Swazi out to try and interview some of your schools. If you drop the names in the comments, we'll give them a shout out as well. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, at Mini London Marathon and at London Marathon. Great shot of Big Ben. And, well, a look at some of the results there, Steph, and it was a very quick race, wasn't it, for the elite men? That's the under 17 men, I believe. 7 minutes 19. It's blisteringly quick.
Blisteringly quick, and you can just see that actually there's nothing separating them from 7:19 to 7:20. They were really racing right to the finish line there. So quite an exceptional race, and even to get a medal and bronze position, only 5 seconds off the gold medalist. So you've got to be really, really, like, I think one of the winners are saying, is breathing down each other's necks to really try and get those top positions.
Look at some of the women's results as well. The under 17 women, and that was won by Poppy Guest, 8:13. So just outside the record set by Innes Fitzgerald of 8 minutes 10, and that's under 17 boys result we actually saw. That was just 1 second off the course record, but you can see both both the athletes pushed all the way to the end, just 1 second separating them. A slightly more dominant race from Poppy Guest, finishing 5 seconds ahead of second place. But it's not the times that matter, is it really, Steph? You know, we have those course records, but particularly for those in the under 17s as well, they'll be thinking more about race tactics, stuff they can take forward. It is championship racing, it's in the title, and that's something really important for those elite runners to learn.
I think they were right. I think this is a great opportunity to learn a race craft. And so actually forgetting about the time is sometimes helpful. You just want to be present. You want to be around your competitors. You want to learn more about your competitors. These are just a different surface here. So they have just come off of a cross-country background traditionally across the winter. This is a harder surface. It might mean it changes your pace, your natural gait. Different people's biomechanics work a little bit better on the road. So it will change the nature of the race. So I absolutely agree that sometimes forget the watch, even though many will still try and record the times. And it is just about focusing on what you can do, what is good for you, what is that sense of self-achievement for you. So yeah, many people will be thinking about some growth goals, more about, I want to finish feeling good. I want to finish making sure that I pace myself well. Rather than just focusing on the outcome, sometimes there can be an over-focus on that. And that can sometimes be limiting in your own mental belief, because you can limit yourself on what you can achieve. So I think, every individual will approach this slightly differently, but over time, I think this craft will be developing. They'll be learning how to actually, next year, maybe I might not go so quick. Maybe next year I might have been actually more comfortable to finish a bit quicker next time. So they learn more about their bodies, and that's what's really, really incredible at this time, is to, as they're developing, as they're growing, maturing, they'll learn about how their body's working with them.
Well, that's something you don't see too often there, an Arsenal and a Spurs fan crossing the line together. Almost, I think the Spurs fan reached out for a hand, and the Arsenal fan decided to leap over the line. But great to see that all of those from both sides of North London running and enjoying the TCS Mini London Marathon together today. No, it is exactly right what you say, Steph, and that is not just for those who are racing in the championship as well. It's a great thing for these youngsters to learn as well, and well, they would have, particularly those in the early pens of this mass start, would have been there waiting and potentially watching on those in the championship racing, and may ask the question to their parents, to those teachers, those around them, of how they can get into the championship race in the years to come and find themselves at a track club and start to build up through either their borough or through the home nations. And it would be great to see some of these taking on the championship race in a few years' time.
Absolutely, and you know what, it's that conversation, it's those instrumental conversations from those teachers, from those parents, that start to widen and open up a child's mind to think about the opportunities and what is available to them, like I said, beyond the school gates to them. I think that's really, really important, and I think there are so many clubs that will be have connections with the schools, that hopefully some maybe even not talent ID'd, because I don't think anyone restricts anyone from getting into athletics, but actually it might be like, well, if you're showing some signs of progress and you're enjoying this, why not go along and find your local club, find out about how you can maybe try and work on other things, like it might be your running, but it might be your jumping, throwing. I think that's a really inspirational model there that everyone is taking part in.
Well, absolutely, because it is getting through the door at an athletics club, and you might be going in thinking, oh, I want to get into running, and next thing you know, you're handed a pole and you're pole vaulting. You never know. The possibilities are endless and, well, so varied as well when it comes to athletics, and it's great to see that for, 40 years now, the TCS London Marathon has played such a huge role in ensuring the growth of young people's involvement in sport. And you just look at some of the names, Steph, it really is brilliant to see so many who have gone on to do great things, who've been talent ID'd. We mentioned Jill Scott earlier, of course, one of those who won the Mini London Marathon and then has gone into such a successful career in football, Women's Euros winners, former Manchester City and Everton and Aston Villa player, won the Mini London Marathon in 2001. Now, of course, got Eilish McColgan, who will be competing in her very first marathon, and well, that one feels like a long time coming, and what a great story that is of inspiration, really following in her mum's footsteps.
Absolutely. I think the McColgan family are just inspirational, aren't they? And I think Eilish knows that she's always wanted to kind of get that record back into their family's name. I think it's a very interesting one that they have pitched the timing of her marathon really carefully, and I think that's really good, because it's very easy to want to try and do a marathon quite soon. It's so inspirational, you just want to get caught up by it, but I think Eilish has been smart to look after her body and has developed herself through the 10k, through the half marathon, eventually got to that marathon, and tomorrow is the day, so I'll be looking out for that record, see how she does, and I'm sure she's going to be absolutely smash it.
And someone who is such a huge face of sport, not just in Scotland, in Great Britain, I'd say in Europe as well, such an identifiable figure and face. She only finished 7th. I say only finished 7th. Sit here on my high horse. I only finished 7th in the Mini London Marathon in 2003. We spoke earlier about those like David Weir don't win on their first go. Not everyone can be as lucky as you, Steph, across the line first on your first attempt. But someone who is then maybe wanted more from that, of course, holding the way to the family name, and has gone on to do incredible things. It's not always about winning, it's the impact that it then has to inspire you on.
Absolutely, you said that amazingly, Ellen. absolutely, I think you can be further down the field, and that doesn't determine your future. You know, at the moment, there's so much time. You can be patient with yourself. It's more about just being exposed to an environment that gives you opportunity to try and to not stop trying, you know, and I think that's what Eilish has demonstrated. She doesn't stop trying. She always wants to learn. She always wants to get better. And those experiences, even 7th, she's learned a lot, you know, at that age about how to deal with maybe not immediate success, but she wants to still maybe have that fire ignited in her, maybe try to get further up there, and that's carried her further and further along in her career.
Yeah, absolutely. As you can see, I think we've got a glimpse of Georgia Hunter-Bell giving out some of the medals. 2 of the other debutantes who also competed in the TCS Mini London Marathon, as we see Georgia Bell, who was very successful here, and we'll be all going to try and find a photo of her with her green hair back in the day when she competed in the Mini London Marathon. But again, you know, a story of taking a step away from the sport, finding something new when she didn't have the full passion that she thought she needed to compete on the track, going into duathlon, and now coming back. And you know, it's not always linear, is it? You know, she went through a very, what we'd say, traditional path into athletics, going out to college in America, coming back, almost, I'm sure, you know, she'd put it in her own words as well, sort of falling out of love with the sport, finding something new, going again, and is now an Olympic and world medalist. It's an incredible story.
Absolutely exceptional story, and I think it's one to watch out for, and it's really inspiring because she's come back at a later age to perform, but it's not really about her age. It's the fact that she might have had some ups and downs, but she never lost sight of staying in touch with being physically active. So whether she found a bike, whether she found swimming, she's obviously maintained an amazing base. And once she was then harnessed with her talent in the amazing M11 track club run by Trevor and Jenny Meadows, that was an amazing opportunity there for her to be again nurtured, because her talent was never fully completed at a younger age. So I think Trevor says that she was the one that got away, and then when he was able to coach her again, it was just picking up from where they left off and really developing her onwards.
Right, it's an excellent story, and great to see the Olympic bronze medalist here handing out medals to our mass start participants at the finish line. We can go back to the start line where Swazi is with another of the schools taking part.
If you've just run your race and you're from St. Joseph's, make some noise! How was it? How was it?
It was really great. The greatest part is when we started seeing the finish line.
Oh, was it? Was it really good to see the finish line?
Yes.
Yeah, what was it like to run together?
I think that it developed, like we are a sports team, and we love to show our teamwork to everybody else.
Yeah. You had the best time as well because you saw Joe Wicks, didn't you? Wow! What was Joe Wicks like? Was it a good warm-up?
Yeah, definitely.
So you've just won. Let me see your medals. Hold your medals up, please. Wow! Look at those medals. What advice would you give to someone who's about to run? Some of the schools are still coming up. What advice would you give to them who's about to run their race?
I would say don't give up and work together.
Yeah, that's great advice. Should we make some more noise for St. Joseph's? Well done, St. Joseph's! Look, Joe Wicks!
Oh, Joe Wicks has joined him.
My heart is melting, Ellen. That was absolutely adorable. And just the key message. How can anyone teach that? They learn that through sport.
Look at that!
Amazing. High five for the win.
Joe Wicks, you've just had, this is St. Joseph's. Any word for St. Joseph? This team adore you.
Well, congratulations to all of you. You're absolute legends, and come back next year.
Yeah, nice one. Woo!
Proud as punch, eh?
I guarantee you that after that experience, they will be back next year. I'll put a fair bit of money on that one. So great to have Swazi there at the finish line, now greeting some of the schools as they come across the line, and Joe Wicks there as well, making his way over from the start line where he's been getting all the kids warmed up. And well, there'll be a very long queue for high fives and photos there, and well, that will just be from the parents, who I'm sure he got plenty of through the COVID lockdown, where of course he was doing his PE lessons. And so many of those children who were there celebrating him would have taken a huge amount of inspiration to stay fit while we were all stuck in our homes. The work that he did during the pandemic and during the lockdown, absolutely incredible, and great to see him be so warmly received here at the finish line. What an iconic finish line it is as well. And well, that's a lovely bit, and something that we'll see as well tomorrow at the end of the TCS London Marathon. Those who have just finished and are taking a look over their shoulder, of course, they'll be moved down the finishing funnel, but keeping a lookout for those around them, waiting for friends and family. It really is special, whether you're running, whether you're watching on. It's always, just to be part of the marathon, Steph, is so special.
Absolutely, and I think everyone might run the race itself individually, but then actually there's a team around you. There's the supporters, your family, you know, there are your schoolmates, your community teammates. There's so many connections that you make, so you're never truly alone. And I think that's what's really remarkable about it. And I was just so inspired by the young lady's comments there, that we take pride in competing together as a team.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to get through each other through it, so you're not alone. And I think that was just remarkable.
Well, she's a star for the future.
Yes,
I think get her on co-presenting with Swazi next year. She was excellent. And we can actually go back to Swazi, who's with some more of our finishers.
Okay, we've got whole families taking part in the marathon today. Hello, family, how are you? Great. Good. I'm going to start with Mum. Mum Janine, you are looking amazing. You've got your whole family out. How's today been?
Oh, it's been amazing, amazing. I heard about this last year from a friend.
Yeah.
We applied as a school this year, and
Nice.
it's phenomenal. Every family, every school should enter this. It's amazing.
It is amazing. Caroline and Audrey are also here. So talk to me, big sis. I'm going to go to you first. What's your little sis like? What's it like running with your little sister?
She's got loads of energy. And she tried to chip me up a little bit.
I mean, was it good fun today? What was the vibe like? Was it really exciting?
It was really exciting and fun.
Wow. And I'm going to talk to your dad next. Dad, this is Rob. I mean, not only have you got two daughters, you've got a whole school to look after, Rob. What's the atmosphere been like, and what does it mean to run as a school as well?
Yeah, it's great. It's a great event to bring the kids together, do something outside of school hours and in a big, wider community like this. I mean, it's such a global event, and I think the kids get to run the final few kilometers of such a significant event. It's exciting.
Amazing, amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us, family. We love speaking to you guys. We'll catch you next year maybe as well.
For sure.
Take care. Bye.
Wow.
It's great to see so many smiles on so many faces as they come across the line. We were talking about some of those who are, of course, alumni of this event who are making their marathon debuts tomorrow, something to look forward to, including Sammy Kinghorn, of course, going in the wheelchair race, someone who's making a huge step up after, you know, so much success over the course of the last few years on the track over 100 metres, making the step up to the marathon distance. Not her first marathon, but her first London Marathon, her debut here as well, and Alex Yee as well. We're speaking about some of the triathletes, and Alex Yee, of course, someone who is, well, one of the greats. Will go down as one of the greats and is the one to watch. So entertaining, isn't he, in triathlon at the minute, and really drawing a lot of eyes back to the sport with his rivalry with is it Hayden Wilde, the New Zealander. It's a brilliant race to watch between those two at all points, and of course now the individual triathlon champion at the Olympic Games, and took the mixed gold medal as well. So he'll be taking to the streets of London tomorrow, coming across and under the finish line, the iconic finish gantry of the TCS London Marathon. And of course, for the last few years as well, the TCS Mini London Marathon, they all get to run under the same barrier. And great to see so many still streaming across the line. And we have left Swazi there behind the finish line to grab as many people as she can. And we can go back down to her now.
I've got all the colours right here, isn't it? Okay, well, we're very colourful. We're right at the finish line. I've got Megan and Freya. Megan, let me come to you first. Congratulations. How do you feel?
Good.
Good.
Doing it.
Yeah, let me see your medal. Is this a really proud moment? Yeah, you should feel really proud. I want to come to you next, looking gorgeous in blue as well. And you're from school, which is called Brightside. What's it like to go to Brightside?
It's good.
It's good. What's it like to run with your friends?
Good.
What was that moment like when you crossed the finish line? How exciting was it?
It was unbelievable.
Oh, unbelievable. And what time did you wake up this morning?
7.
7 o'clock. Anyone that got up earlier than 7 a.m.? Whoa! How early did you wake up?
6:30.
Oh my gosh, 6:30. And who had breakfast this morning? Wow. What did you have for breakfast, Megan?
Pancakes.
Oh, good. Any toppings?
Chocolate spread.
Chocolate spread. Well, thank you so much. If you go to Brightside, make some noise. Hey, okay, more love from Brightside. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Well, what a morning it's been so far as we take a look back at, of course, Joe Wicks getting everyone warmed up. We had some brilliant championship races. We had 3 categories in each gender of the championship races. We also had the para-championship races with mixed wheelchair and ambulant races going off just before those in the under-17 boys to kick things off today, and still and later on into the afternoon we will have those in the mass start event streaming across the line and making the most of their day out to the city. But Steph, so great to see all the colours. And then of course the variety in terms of the winners of those with their boroughs and their regions across their chest.
Absolutely. Like I said, it was a mini marathon, but a huge occasion for so many athletes taking part today. And whether you're in the championship to the mass participation race, everyone has given their best and crossed that finish line, and with something to be proud of for the 2025 edition.
And of course, still going on, the mass start with 18,000 taking part.
And as well as the participants, Ellen, I think it's the teachers, like I said,
having
the
a great
family,
time.
having a great time. It's the adults enjoying it as much as the kids. I think that's what's really inspiring to me, is that it is a really, really exceptional for everyone to be part of this event.
Yeah, absolutely. We have some more messages of support. Lucy Smith says good luck to Ed and Millie. Linda says hey and good luck to everyone from Firs Down School. Oriel says go Harriet, Alexander and Robert who are running this morning. Good luck to Shia and Team Hudson. That's from Kel Scott. Gillian says good luck to Laura Bone. And go Team Bradford. Wishing you all the best of luck. And that is from Jill. If you have any messages of support, do get them in. You can head over, of course, to our Facebook, our Instagram and our YouTube. Leave a message on the live and tag us at Mini London Marathon and London Marathon. Well, Steph, we saw some of the highlights there. The championship races were brilliant once again, and so many youngsters who potentially weren't on the ones to watch list who have made a name for themselves today and etched themselves into London Marathon history.
Absolutely. I think at this age it really can be a lottery, Ellen, and I think that the occasion of itself can inspire some to really come through and burst through that winning tape, wanting to fully experience that full London Marathon experience. So yeah, it was an exceptional race, but I'm sure there's also still ones to keep our eyes on for the future.
Yep, completely. And what we can see is another wave gets underway in the mass event here at the TCS Mini London Marathon. It has been a brilliant day of racing so far, and one that will continue into the afternoon and of course into the week as well. If you are a school who wants to take part, you can find all of the details for the TCS Mini London Marathon in schools. Whack that into your search bar and you can find all the information on there and take home a trophy for your school as well. Everyone can take part and make sure that everyone feels included as well. We can hand back to Rick, who is still, I believe, at the start line.
I mean, this has been just great. If you're not moved by this, get yourself checked out. Smiles, energy, thousands of young runners making memories that will stick with them forever. And I think that is what the Mini London Marathon is all about, really. And this magic doesn't just happen. It doesn't just get thrown together. There's a seriously dedicated team who are working pretty much all year to make it happen. And I'm delighted to now be joined by one of the men who was instrumental in that, Ben Cooper. How are you, Ben?
I'm all right. I'm really pleased and relieved to see it up and running now. As you say, there's a huge amount of preparation goes into this, but to see them go through the finish line, smiles on their faces, that's what it's all about.
As event lead, you've put so much time and effort into it. Obviously, this being the 40th one as well, there must be sort of joy and relief, I suppose.
Absolutely. There is so much preparation goes into it, and pretty much when we finish today, we'll go into planning for next year. We want to improve it, we want to grow it. We think we'll have about 15,000 children through the finish line today. We want to increase this over time. We're going to try and go for 20,000 next year. And by 2030, we want to try and get this event the same as the London Marathon tomorrow. So
50 grand?
That's the plan. That's what we've got to try and work to. Because you can see the appetite today. you can see what it means to these children to finish, to go through that amazing finish line and to get the medal, and every participant gets the £10 that goes to their school for PE equipment. So the buzz is there, the demand is there. We have to turn people away each year. So we want to grow it and grow it and grow it so it gets as big as Sunday.
What's your favourite type of finisher? Because we're here by the finish line. I know that, you know, when it's like the sort of the competitive people in there, they're really like putting in good times. My personal favourite is someone who, you know, is ambling round, but they've got round and they're walking with their mates, and then last 10 metres they absolutely peg it. It's beautiful.
I do like that little sneaky sprint finish. One of my favourites is usually when there's a parent involved and they suddenly just sprint past the parent and leave the parent for dead.
Seen so many parents left being like, where's my child gone?
Yeah, and you can see the parent tagging along behind. But I think that's part of what it's about. It's about families coming down, and it might be the first time mum or dad's gone for a run for a long time, because we want this event to really inspire activity year round. We know it's a day in the year, but the more we can plant that seed of being active and the benefits it brings, the better.
And getting it around schools as well is such a smart initiative, I think.
Absolutely. So the schools all enter this, and like I say, they get that £10 payment. But the other thing that schools can do, if they see this and get the bug, is we've got a virtual event. So the Mini London Marathon in schools can still enter that completely free. They can do a little run in their own school, in their playground. They get a trophy, and they might win a visit from Joe Wicks. So today inspires, but we want schools across the UK to be part of this as well.
Do you get to have a little lie down now?
Probably after the weekend, I'm going to have a lie down a little bit, and then we'll get planning next year.
Yeah, go and find yourself a nice dark room somewhere. Thanks ever so much, Ben, and congratulations on how it's gone.
Thank you.
Well, it's been a fantastic day. Huge thank you to everyone that we've spoken to. If I forget anyone, I apologise. David Weir, Hannah Cockcroft, Georgia Hunter-Bell, Kira McGeehan, the kids, Ben, who's organised it, everyone for being here. Thanks to everyone who's been in touch, and congratulations to everyone who's actually completed the run as well. Massive shout out to our on the ground dream team. Swazi's been out here. Ellen and Steph in commentary have been absolute stars. And remember, if you're watching this and thinking, and Ben just alluded to it there, I want to be a part of that, you still can. So schools can still register for the free TCS Mini London Marathon in schools, but you've got to be quick. You've got until Friday, May the 2nd to sign up and join the movement. To every single runner, obviously, who took part today, thank you for bringing the energy, bringing the vibes, bringing the smiles, bringing the spirit that makes this event just so very special. We're going to leave you now with more of the fun and the colour and the joy, the boundless joy from today's amazing fun runners. Remember to keep tagging us in your posts and message at London Marathon or at Mini London Marathon. Thank you very much for being with us, and we will see you all next year.